guys, welcome to another video today. It is a review of Project Cars. Now, the game's been out since May 8th of 2015, and I've played it for about a month to a day of actually commentating. It'll be out, the video will be out till the 9th of May, so you'll see that, because I've got another video out coming out on the 8th, which is not this one. And the month that I've played it, well actually no, I've played it longer than a month, about a month and a bit. I got it in June, and I got a month later than anyone else. And for the month that I played it, I have to say, there's been various changes. Obviously, I didn't get the game when it was at its weakest, and for example, I remember people saying to me how bad the steering was, and how just twitchy it was. And when I got on the game, I had to change some settings on my pad, particularly certain settings like the dead zone, for example, on the pad. It was just so sensitive that I had to change it and make some slight tweaks to it, which is not always a good thing. You just want to get going and you just want to get straight into it. And also I had to change the buttons as well, and that was a bit of a pain as well. So that's one of the main things that are a bit of a tricky thing. So on the pad, it's a bit hard. On a wheel, it's probably not so hard, but that's the way it all works in the end of the day. So that's one of the main issues that's some of the issues that Karts had, in my opinion. Sometimes also the go-karts were hard as hell to drive. I mean, I've driven a go-kart before, and I know full well the go-karts aren't drive like that at all. And I'd say the game doesn't really, I know it's trying to be a sim, and it's just not showing it, at times. It needs to be a bit more better. And I've heard that they're launching a Project Cars 2, which I don't understand, is they brought out a game, basically, so I mentioned just brought out a game that was developed over 4 years, and it's got full of bugs and it's broken. The game is broken, and if you ask anyone who has the game on console anyway, the game is broken. And they launched a game, took lots of people's and consumers' money with this game, and it's not particularly the best game that I've ever played. For me, as a driving point of view, it's enjoyable. It's got some nice moments when you win, you can succeed, you get that sense of achievement, because you just feel so happy when you win races. And but to get there, it's so hard. I mean, you climb up the ranks you can do anything you want from tier 8, get up the ranks and all that stuff, from go-karting all the way to LMP1 or endurance. It's such a good ride. I mean, I went from Formula Rookie through endurance, and the career mode gets very bland. That's one thing to mention, is the career mode. It does get repetitive, very. When you start a new category in any career mode, it's so boring. It's basically just the same thing all over again, and that's one of the issues with Project Cars. Again, it doesn't give that sense of, oh, I want to continue doing this. And that's another issue with Project Cars. Online, there's not many problems. I'd say online's been pretty decent. The AI are quite messy at times on career mode, very aggressive. I personally haven't had many problems, even though I've had problems in the past, particularly around Monaco, where you get pile-ups at different, like Mirabeau, for example, Mirabeau corner, where you get pile-ups at Monaco. It just the AI don't really know what they're doing, but I haven't had many issues with it. I think some people can be quite aggressive towards the AI and have to treat it more like a sim instead of being too aggressive, because people unfortunately take on from arcade games and go to sim, and it just doesn't, there's a lot of difference between the two of them. So, but moving on to the positive, more of a positive note, I've enjoyed racing on Project Cars. I'm not gonna lie, Project Cars is a very decent game at times. I say that at times, and even though there's some aspects that are not very good, the driving experience is amazing. When you drive these fast cars that you see in the video that I've got, the footage I got behind you, the cars that I haven't driven before, like this one at the moment, I'm driving right at this moment, the Radical, round Bathurst. It's just amazing, and the speed and sense of speed is fantastic in these cars. Formula A cars are quite tricky to drive, but I got used to them quite quickly. I use no assists all the time on these games. On this game particularly, I use no assists, only since I use driving line. Sorry to say that. But Formula A for me, I got used to quite quickly. When you did the career mode in Formula A, you get used to it, and I did actually enjoy Formula A quite a lot. Even though people said that the rear of the car was so you know, bad that you couldn't push the car as hard as I could. And I've done so many hot laps on this channel, as you guys would know, any of my subscribers would know. You know, I've done a lot of hot laps in Formula A, and I've really enjoyed it in the past, particularly around Monaco. So, and you know, just the game itself, the handling and everything else is pretty decent. Once you get the pad set up, it's very good. AI fight with you is another positive thing. Although they're quite aggressive, they fight with you. They actually do, and I really like that about that. It makes the game more challenging, and whatever AI is saying you want, it just makes it a much more challenging game. So hats off to Slime Studios for making a game like that. The graphics are pretty out of this world. They're pretty decent, and it just, you know, it's just really good. Time trial wise, you know, I'm top 100. I think I'm top of the top 100 of people on project cars in certain circuits like Monaco and stuff like that. So it's another good thing. And it's just like the game. It's a really decent game, and I'd say hats off to people like Slime Studios and all the drivers who actually developed the game for the company. It's just amazing, and so that's the benefit of project cars. Sense of achievement's amazing when you achieve. You do so much stuff, and you actually, you win races. You know, that relief when you win races is amazing. And I think another good thing about the game is the realism, where tyres overheat, tyres are hard to get the temperature, and particularly cars with slick tyres, and the rain is so hard. But that makes the game much more interesting to drive and all that stuff. And I'd say it's fantastic. Key circuits that I would say that are really good to drive: Zolder, the Belgian circuit. Other than the Spa, is you know, it's a good circuit. It's older. Caught me out surprised. I've never driven it before, and then I drove it in career mode. I think it was in Formula A, and I absolutely enjoyed it. I love that circuit a lot. Sakito is a circuit that used to be on Forza Motorsport 4. I know a lot of people haven't mentioned that, but Sakito used to be on Forza Motorsport 4. And Solima. Actually, not Sakito, Solima. I was on Forza Motorsport 4. And I love that track, and I still like it to this day. Amazing circuit. Bathurst, mate, and then a quick circuit. You know, the sense of speed is amazing. Laguna Seca is amazing as well. And I just love all the circuits. Another thing, lastly, is the road cars. All cars handle differently. For example, at this moment we're driving the SLS round California highway, and the different ways these cars drive are amazing. Open wheel drive very differently to you know, normal cars. Open wheel got more grip. However, they got less grip than, say, maybe GT cars. And you know, an LMP1's got a lot of grip. But then you got road cars that have less grip, and it's so hard to transition between road cars and LMP1 and all those good handling cars. But you know, that's a good thing. It makes the game much more interesting. And as you see, I've got some bad driving here at the moment, and I'm just restarting the session. It just shows how difficult the game is on different cars. But at the same time, it's endurable, and having the cars handle in different ways is a very positive thing, and it makes the game more realistic. And I'm sorry to say, but for me, if I can spot some favourite cars in each category, I'd say, you know, my favourite car to drive in terms of open wheel would have been Formula C, personally. Formula A, all in good, it's very nice to drive. You can't push the limits so much, but I enjoyed the Formula A car. However, in my opinion, I just enjoyed Formula C a bit more. Just love the speed of the aspect of it. It's got nice power, and then it just got good handling. And then GT wise, the R8, the GT R8, and the Audi R8 GT, and the McLaren M12C, MP412C GT car is amazing to drive as well. And MP1 wise, go for the Audis as well. They're good cars to drive. Circuits for me, key circuits: Bathurst, Zolder, Spa, Italy, or Monza, Imola, Silverstone, Nürburgring. You know, all those good circuits are, you know, are very good on this game, and I'm very impressed with those sort of circuits, and I've enjoyed those the most. So in my opinion, Project Cars gets about a 7 out of 10. It's decent. You'll enjoy it for about a couple of months, and you know, it's a good break away from other racing games. It's a good simulator. But let's hope Project Cars 2 is amazing, and I'll see you on another video on F1 2015. See you guys. Thanks guys.